Why are people who are emotionally intelligent called cold? Because they can interpret without giving away the emotion. Those who are emotionally intelligent are not emeralds. The skin is emerald, 15 meters deep. They are precious and hidden. They do not reveal everything. Everyone told me, "You're brainwashing others." I said, what would brainwashing be if you could reframe all your problems? That would indeed be brainwashing, but it would be with your permission. So, I want to know, do you want to watch this or not? Imagine if you could cleanse your brain of everything you've done wrong. You might say it will erase your memory, but the effect this produces in the present, if I didn't believe this works, I wouldn't have built it, it wouldn't have produced results, and I wouldn't be teaching it. It works. You can get rid of your traumas, your blocks, your insecurities, and everything else. But what you have to understand is, if you know what toxins mean, what they impact, and what you need to do to remove them, you might say you'll treat them one by one. So, if you're willing to do it, you'll understand that this will start a new process in your head called emotional management, and then you'll start saying, I need to manage my emotions. There's no way to suggest doing emotions. If you don't know the difference between emotion and feeling, feeling comes before emotion. So, write the word feeling and put that little math symbol there. Feeling is greater than emotion. This is input, this is output. Input and output. What is feeling? Feeling is the interpretation of the real world. What is emotion? It's what I did with that feeling. So, what is feeling? Feeling is an input, but you can use it for interpretation. You're going to do this, you're going to draw a little circle, and then you're going to draw another one. Let's just do 4 here, 4 little circles. You're going to call this one the real world. The real world doesn't change with the passing of centuries, millennia, days, or even hours. This is the real world, welcome to it. What is the real world? Everything is natural in the real world. Everything that is physical. So, you write physical and natural. Everything that is energetic goes beyond the natural. So, talking about energy, sometimes you can't see it, and you can't interpret it. Okay, the real world consists of natural things, such as water, rivers, trees, animals, everything created in Genesis 1. Is that the real world? What does the real world mean? Depending on any culture in the world, it's the same. I'll explain. If you have a nice, fat cow in your culture, what does it mean to you? You might say it signifies abundance and plenty, and that means you'll use the cow or kill it to get the steak. You might kill it and get the meat. What if you want to take the meat out of it? What are you going to do? You're going to make it reproduce. You're going to make it give milk. You're going to make it have another calf. You're going to make it reproduce. Right or wrong depends on your culture. But the cow is still a cow. Does that mean the nature of things? Do you understand or not? However, if you're placed in a situation where people interpret things differently, this is what the person will feel. If I go to India and say, let's kill this cow and have a barbecue, what do you think the people's feelings will be? You're a bit naive, you need to know this. The more naive a person is, the more they only understand what they've learned. Look at the example of a cow. Everything that's natural, water, trees, animals, rivers, that's what you need to understand. Are you following me? Only the interpretation of reality is different. So what happens is that the feeling is how I interpret reality. Since childhood, you learn in school not to talk about someone's mother, or you'll get beaten up. But if you go to my house, here's what I'll do. If someone talks about my mother, you'll call her, and you'll talk to her. Let's see if you're a man. What will happen to the child when you say this? Why didn't anyone teach us this? Let the person say, I'll call your mother and talk to her, and the child will think, this is the real world. But he'll see that you're upset because you learned not to let anyone talk about your mother. You've entered a game where you interpret reality differently, and that's the end of your life. If someone touches your face and slaps you, what will you do? Can you talk calmly? Forget the verse, each person will have a different reaction. Do you understand that your interpretation of reality is completely wrong, artificially shaped? How many of you have people who owe you money? Did you know that you interpreted this wrongly? Where did it start? When you lent the money and the person said, "It's my only way out," you fell for it, you interpreted it wrong. Do you want to grow for real? Yes or no? It's leave a like and subscribe.